Everybody wants to be that 70-year-old rider who's still dragging a peg in the canyons and hopping curbs at gas stations. But nobody wants to do what it actually takes to get there. Longevity on a motorcycle isn't about being lucky or drinking green smoothies. It's about riding smart, listening to your body, and making small adjustments before something breaks. I've seen too many good riders hang up their keys, not because they crashed, but because riding stopped feeling good. Pain crept in, motivation faded, the bike got heavy, the rides got shorter, and eventually the helmet just sat on a shelf. But it doesn't have to be like that. If you want to keep riding until your kids are riding with you and beyond, you need to build those habits now, not next year, not when your wrist hurts, now. Here's how. Number 1, prioritize core strength and flexibility. Most riders only realize this after their lower back locks up on a long ride or they can't swing a leg over a bike without grunting like a grandpa. A strong core isn't just about looking good shirtless. It's your body's shock absorber. Every bump, lean, and shift transfers force through your core. If it's weak, your arms and spine take the hit. Flexibility matters just as much. Tight hips, tight hamstrings, and stiff shoulders turn smooth riding into a wrestling match with your own skeleton. And here's the thing. Motorcycle fitness isn't about doing CrossFit or deadlifting 300 pounds. It's about being able to twist, lean, and stay loose for hours without turning into a popsicle. Just 5 minutes a day of planks, hip openers, and foam rolling can change your whole riding experience. The sooner you start, the longer you'll last. Neglect this stuff now and you'll pay for it every time you throw a leg over. But make it part of your routine, riding gets easier, smoother, and way more fun. Especially when your buddies are wincing at stoplights and you're still bouncing off the seat like a kid. You don't need to be a gymnast, you just need to stop riding like your bones are made out of rebar. Number 2, protect your wrists, knees, and back early. You don't wait for your helmet to crack before buying a new one, right? So why do so many riders wait until their wrists are toast, their knees are shot, or their back feels like a sack of bricks before they start thinking about comfort? The truth is, once those joints go bad, they don't come back. And riding puts repetitive strain on all of them, even if you're just cruising. Gel grips, cushion gloves, knee pads, and a proper back protector aren't luxuries. They're insurance. Same with handlebar risers or aftermarket seats. Most bikes aren't designed around you. They're a factory average. A few smart mods early can add years to your riding life. And you won't even realize how much they helped until you hop on someone else's bike and feel like you're getting beat up. And it's not just about comfort. It's about control. When your hands aren't going numb, you react faster. When your knees aren't aching, you stay stable in corners. When your back isn't killing you, you focus better. Ignore it and you'll end up quitting the thing you love, not because of a crash, but because riding became a chore. Start protecting yourself now or prepare to trade your bike for a lawn chair later. Number 3, learn to ride with relaxed body tension. Tension kills, not just your muscles, but your entire riding flow. You see it all the time. The death grip on the bars, locked elbows, hunched shoulders like they're bracing for impact. That's not riding. That's surviving. And if you're riding like you're in a car crash that hasn't happened yet, guess what? You're going to feel like you've been in one after every ride. Relaxation is a skill. It's not something you just decide to do. It's something you train. Start by noticing it. When your hands ache, your arms are sore, or you feel wiped after 20 minutes, that's your body screaming, "You're trying too hard." Let the bike move. You're not supposed to fight it. You're supposed to guide it. Keep your grip light, bend your elbows, lower your shoulders. Breathe. It feels weird at first, like you're giving up control, but the truth is, relaxation gives you more control. You react quicker, absorb bumps better, and steer with precision instead of panic. Over time, it becomes second nature. You'll wonder how you ever rode with fists clenched like a boxer, and your body, it'll thank you. Less pain, longer rides, and the confidence to keep going year after year. Tension is your enemy. Let it go. Number 4, ride smaller bikes more often. Big bikes get all the glory, but they also come with all the weight, heat, bulk, and fatigue. Sure, your leader bike sounds amazing echoing through a canyon, but if every ride leaves you drained, sore, and mentally fried, how long do you think you can really keep this up? Smaller bikes, 250s, 400s, even mid-600 twins, don't just weigh less, they ask less of your body. They're easier to throw around, more forgiving in traffic, and way more playful on the back roads. You can ride one at 90% and still be within your limits, rather than sweating bullets every time you crack open the throttle. And don't let ego talk you out of it. Some of the best riders in the world use small bikes for training because they force you to sharpen your skills. Less power means more finesse. Less speed means more time to react. That's how you become better, safer, and more in tune with your machine. More importantly, smaller bikes let you ride more often. Shorter trips don't feel like a hassle, maintenance is easier, and you'll stop treating every ride like a damn triathlon. Want to ride for life? Embrace bikes that are fun, not just fast. You'll go farther, literally and metaphorically. Number 5. Avoid the more power trap. It starts innocent enough. You ride a 300, then a 600, then a 1000, and suddenly you're eyeing turbo kits like they're multivitamins. That craving for just a little more power is the fastest way to suck the joy out of riding and the longevity right along with it. Because here's the truth, more power doesn't make you a better rider. It makes you lazier, more reckless, and ironically, more bored. A bike that does everything with the twist of a wrist doesn't challenge you, it spoils you. And the moment you stop being mentally engaged, you start getting careless or disinterested. But even worse, the bigger the bike, the higher the stakes. Every mistake costs more on your body, your wallet, or both. And as you age, those consequences start to stick around a lot longer. So instead of chasing horsepower like it's some badge of honor, start chasing precision, smoothness, consistency. The satisfaction of nailing a perfect downshift or flowing through a set of corners without once thinking about your engine size, that's what lasts. Skill scales with age. Ego doesn't. Want to ride for life? Stop obsessing over the next upgrade and start mastering the bike you already have. That's where real, lasting passion comes from. Number 6. Regularly switch up your riding style. If you only ever ride one type of road, one kind of bike, or with the same group of people, eventually, it's gonna feel stale. That's how the burnout creeps in, not with a bang, but with boredom disguised as routine. Switch it up. If you're a street guy, hit a dirt trail. If you've never done a track day, try one. If you always ride with the crew, take a solo run through the mountains and see how your brain changes. Because every riding style brings something new. Different muscles, different mental focus, different joys. That variety is what keeps you sharp. But it's not just about excitement, it's about preservation. Your body and brain adapt differently depending on how you ride. Off-road builds reflexes. Track riding teaches smoothness. Long-distance touring teaches patience and posture. All of it adds up to a more complete, more resilient rider. Plus, as you get older, your favorite kind of riding might not always stay the same. And that's fine. If you've already explored other styles, the transition is way easier. Don't let your riding life shrink into a single lane. Keep tasting everything the motorcycle world has to offer. It's the buffet of experience that keeps your plate full for decades. Number 7. Invest in truly comfortable gear. Wearing the wrong gear is like going on a long hike in shoes that almost fit. Sure, you'll survive, but you'll be sore, miserable, and wondering why you ever liked hiking in the first place. Same goes for riding. That slightly too tight jacket, that helmet with the weird pressure point, the gloves that cramp your thumbs after an hour. All of that adds up. Not just to discomfort, but to long-term joint strain, fatigue, and even dangerous distractions on the road. Riders who stay in the game for decades aren't tougher, they're smarter. They find the gear that works with their body, not against it. That means getting your helmet properly fitted, not just guessing your size. It means replacing that clunky old jacket with one that fits your posture on your current bike. It means paying for better padding, better airflow, and better ergonomics. It might not feel like a big deal on short rides, but over the years, bad gear chips away at your stamina. It's the silent killer of riding longevity. So do yourself a favor. Ditch the good enough gear. Get the stuff that actually makes you want to ride longer, not quit earlier. Comfort isn't just a luxury. It's a long-term investment in staying in the saddle for life. Number 8. Warm up before you ride. Look, you wouldn't run a marathon without stretching first. So why are you swinging a leg over a 500-pound machine cold and stiff like it's no big deal? Riding a motorcycle demands way more from your body than most people think. Your hips rotate, your core stabilizes, your neck cranes, your wrists pivot. It's a full-body experience whether you realize it or not. And as you age, those movements get less forgiving. The tight hip flexor you ignored at 25, it becomes the pinched nerve that ruins your 50. Warming up doesn't mean doing jumping jacks in the gas station parking lot. But 2 minutes of shoulder rolls, wrist circles, maybe a few squats or toe touches before a ride, that can save you from serious pain later, especially if you're heading out for a long one. Even more important is warming up mentally. Give your brain a second to focus. Set your mindset before you hit traffic. Don't just roll out thinking about your emails or what you forgot at home. Be present. Be aware. Treating the ride like a workout, which it is, keeps your body and mind sharp for the long haul. Skip the warm-up and you'll feel it in all the wrong ways. If not today, then soon enough. Number 9. Listen to fatigue, not ego. Here's a hard truth. Your ego will get you hurt faster than your bike ever will. Most riders don't crash because they lack skill. They crash because they ignore their limits. And nothing tests those limits more quietly than fatigue. Numb hands, sore back, tunnel vision after 2 hours of freeway buzz. Those aren't badges of honor. They're your body waving a white flag. And if you're smart, you'll listen. Because pushing through fatigue doesn't make you tough. It makes you a liability to yourself and everyone else on the road. This is especially true as you age. Recovery takes longer. Mistakes hit harder. And yet so many riders keep trying to prove something to their buddies, their younger self, or some imaginary Instagram audience that couldn't care less. Real longevity comes from knowing when to pull over, when to call it a day, and when to skip the ride entirely. Not because you're weak, but because you're wise enough to keep riding next week. You want to be the guy still riding at 70? Start acting like it now. Learn to check in with your body mid-ride. Accept that some days, 45 minutes is plenty. Save the heroics for the track. On the street, survival is sexier than suffering. Number 10. Ride solo sometimes, but not always. There's something magical about riding alone. No comms, no group pressure, no route debates. Just you, the bike, and the road. Solo rides reconnect you with the reason you fell in love with motorcycles in the first place. It's your time, your pace, your thoughts. That clarity, it's rare and it's addicting. But too much of that solitude can backfire. When riding becomes your only escape, it turns into therapy instead of joy. And when your whole identity is built on being the lone wolf, burnout starts creeping in from the edges. Group rides, when done right, remind you that riding is a community. You swap stories, share routes, learn tricks, and get challenged in the best ways. Even if you're not the social type, the occasional pack ride keeps the blood flowing. The trick is balance. Too much solo riding and you isolate. Too much group riding and you forget why you ride at all. Ride with people who lift you up, not drag you down. Mix up your riding diet. One ride for the soul, one for the squad. Want to ride for life? Don't just focus on your clutch hand and core muscles. Nurture your mindset too. Motorcycling is as much emotional longevity as it is physical endurance. Number 11. Stay curious. Keep learning. You know the difference between a rider who plateaus after 5 years and one who rides for 50? Curiosity. The hunger to improve, to understand, to evolve. The guy who's still practicing slow speed drills in his 60s, he didn't stay sharp by accident. kept learning. There's always more to explore. Advanced riding courses, new terrain, unfamiliar bike setups, or even just wrenching on your own machine. The moment you start thinking, I got this figured out, is the moment your skills start to rot. The best riders are tinkerers, not just with tools, but with technique. They'll experiment with braking points, try different body positions in corners, test out how a tire feels at different pressures. It's not about being faster. It's about understanding your machine and yourself on a deeper level. And learning doesn't always mean formal lessons. It can be watching a MotoGP race and analyzing lines. It can be talking to a grizzled rider at a gas station who's seen more than you ever will. Curiosity keeps your mind flexible, and a flexible mind keeps the passion alive. Riding isn't just a skill, it's a craft. You're never done learning it, and the more you learn, the longer you'll want to keep doing it. Stay curious, or you'll stagnate and stop. Number 12. Take breaks before you burn out. Burnout doesn't always show up with fireworks. Sometimes it creeps in slowly. Rides feel like chores. You're skipping cleaning your bike, or every excuse not to ride suddenly sounds reasonable. That's your body and brain waving the white flag. And the worst thing you can do? Push through it like it's some kind of weakness. Every rider hits a slump. Sometimes it's mental, sometimes it's physical. Doesn't mean you've fallen out of love with bikes. It just means your tank's empty. So stop forcing it. Don't guilt yourself for taking a break. The truth is, stepping away is often the thing that keeps you riding long term. Letting yourself miss it a little is how you remember why you love it. Whether it's a week, a month, or even a whole season, you're not failing. You're preserving the spark. Your bike will wait. The road isn't going anywhere, and when you come back fresh, you'll ride better, feel better, and appreciate it more. The guys who ride for life aren't the ones who never stop. They're the ones who know when to stop, just long enough to stay in love with it. You don't owe anyone constant saddle time. Take the break before the break takes you. Number 13. Accept that your riding will change. And that's okay. The guy you were at 25, he's not the guy you'll be at 55. And that's not a tragedy, it's growth. Too many riders cling to the idea that if they're not riding hard, fast, or far like they used to, they're somehow less of a biker. That's nonsense. Riding evolves, just like you do. Maybe you used to live for canyon carving at dawn, but now a quiet ride to a scenic overlook hits harder. Maybe you've swapped knee down for knee braces, or your rides are shorter but somehow more meaningful. That's not regression, that's refinement. The people who ride for life, they're not trying to beat their 20-year-old selves. They've made peace with the fact that the joy of riding doesn't live in lap times or red lines. It lives in freedom, focus, and the feeling of the machine beneath you, no matter the pace. So don't let pride ruin your longevity. Adapt your gear, change your routes, pick bikes that suit your body today, not the one you used to have. There's a version of riding that fits every season of life, if you're willing to shift gears and embrace it. You haven't peaked. You've just entered a new corner. Ride it your way. Riding for life isn't about clinging to your youth or pushing through pain. It's about evolving with the machine, staying sharp, and keeping that fire lit without burning yourself out. The best riders I know didn't stay in the game by being the fastest, toughest, or flashiest. They stayed in it by being smart, adaptive, and damn good at listening to their bodies, to their bikes, and to their own motivation. So here's a question I've got for you. What's the one thing you do that helps you stay in love with riding? Whether it's a specific routine, a certain road, a mindset shift, or just a favorite kind of ride, drop it in the comments. Let's share what keeps us going. Because at the end of the day, riding isn't a phase. It's not something you age out of. It's something you grow with. And if you play it right, it'll still be the best part of your life 40 years from now.